I am taking stuff which I might relate to in some capacity, and I'm going to explore that. Jeez. What am I doing? What am I even doing? My husband is vacuuming from time to time. I hope we won't hear it. Hey, welcome to my second vlog. My name is Ola. I'm writing an adult historical fantasy with Ukrainian folklore. Last time I was finishing part of the second draft, and I have a couple of updates. In the meantime, I have finished the second draft. It's done, it's over, it's finished. Round of applause, please. Thank you. The thing is that I finished it very much earlier than I expected, because I thought that my whole July, I thought it's gonna be a whole July of hard work, and I somehow finished in 10 days for some. I don't know how I managed that. I know how I did manage that, because I was working on it every day for like 8 to 10 hours. So it was a hard work, right? Just I didn't expect it to go that fast. I was afraid at first, before like starting it, I was afraid that I won't manage to finish it before what's the next month? Before August. But here I am. It's not even half of the month, and I've already given it to my first alpha, beta, whatever readers. I still have to do the line edit, like the heavy line editing, and probably one more round of copy editing. Like, I guess I'm quite sure I still have at least couple of editing rounds to go through, especially since I managed to reach 124,000 words, which is amazing. It was my dream, but the more I read about about the current market, about the agents' requirements, the more it seems to me that I have to push myself and reach the beneath 120k. I just gotta do that. No matter what I do. And I have read a couple of articles, Reddit posts and stuff, that actually it is doable, even though plot wise my book is very tight. I cut out everything that could be cut out without damaging the idea the value of the book, let's say. But I have read that actually cutting out some small stuff, like additional actions, let's say she got up and opened the door, she went to the door and opened the door. Obviously she went to the door in order to open it, so we can cut out this part. Or actually dialogue tags that people tend to over add. Cutting out the extra dialogue tags helps a lot. So I have a belief that actually I have quite a chance to reach that 19k. So yeah, but this is for future Ola. This is not my pain in anything right now. In this vlog, which you probably can see from the title, we are gonna outline the second book in this series. Someone broke something outside. I'm not starting this second book before I know what's even happening with the first book, but I want to have this understanding about the second book, what's gonna happen there. Basically, my idea of this series is trilogy. It would be perfect to have it as trilogy, but the first book is it can work as a standalone. It's a standard basically to pitch your debut book as a standalone with serious potential. It's most people who have an idea for a series do that, because it's not always possible to sell a series if you're not an established writer. But it's also cool if your book can be a series, because if it sells, then you at immediately have something more to sell, right? So in my case, it would be perfect to have it as trilogy. It can also work as a duology, and it can quite well work as a standalone. It's like not a completely finished story if it's a standalone. Like it is a finished story because the one of the characters, like main character arc, finishes by the end of the book, but the ending is kind of open in terms of like enemies are not entirely defeated, let's call it that, even though I'm not sure they will be entirely defeated even by the end of the third book because life. But the thing is that this character, like her arc finishes by the end of the book, but there is a huge potential for other arcs. Like it's gonna be her arcs, but these are just gonna be other arcs. So it's fine. It's all right. It would work as a duology, trilogy, whatever. But yeah, like I said, standalone is fine as well. This is the plan. We're gonna start working on outlining the second book, and you're going there with me. Oh my god. Oh my. Muffin. First things first, I sat down to write the synopsis for my book. For those who maybe don't know, synopsis is a short summary of your whole story from beginning to an end, with spoilers, everything. Some people advise to do it at the beginning before writing, so you have a grasp of your whole plot. I didn't, so I decided to do it now. Just to have it out of my head, because writing synopsis is not an easy task. It has to be really short. Different agents have different requirements. Sometimes it's 1 page, but I aim for 500 words to 1,000 words. And I decided to have it as my task for today and just postpone the outlining a little bit. Hello! Check out my t-shirt. I don't know, maybe you failed to notice, but I'm a huge Shrek fan. Yeah. It's been actually 2 days since last time I recorded. This thing is that I was going to take 1 day to finish my synopsis, which I finished. Guys, writing a synopsis is a task. Okay, it's an experience. Couple of words about the synopsis. Okay, I have finished it on 999 or 98 words out of 1,000. Like, different agents have different requirements as for synopsis. Sometimes they want 1-page synopsis, and I haven't tried doing that, to be honest, because my synopsis, which is 1,000 words, is like 2.5 pages, and it is like really condensed. So I don't even know how to do it 1 page. Like, what do I have to remove? Who do I have to remove? Who do I have to mention? I believe that now I have, like, let's say 4 or 5 characters, maybe 6, I don't remember, like around that, characters mentioned. I said that if it has to be a 1-pager, I will probably have to mention like 3 characters. So main character, love interest, and the antagonist. I guess this is what I will have to go with. I don't know. We will see. Anyway, I did it. I managed. I'm proud of myself. It was like a battle with myself to remove last like 20 words when I had 1,016 words remaining, and I was like, my God, it is already. I don't even know. let's leave the synopsis behind, shall we? And let's go to the plotting. Because yesterday I started like brainstorming stuff that I want to have in my two books. So basically it's just ideas. It's nothing in particular. I'm not sure if I will, I'm quite sure that it won't happen today, but maybe a couple of days. Maybe I will have some kind of a plot structure for the second book, maybe the third, but yesterday when I started brainstorming it, it turned out that there are so many things that I have to cover. I was actually impressed because like what I want to do initially here is to have characters, arcs, and leading theme that I want to explore. And the thing is that it won't work like that. Because when I started brainstorming, it turned out that I already have ideas that go beyond that one theme and one arc. And now it looks like I will have to kind of plot all those threads, right? So like I have the idea of what I want to do with the love plot. Because in the first book I have a slow burn, and then in the second book there will be some conflict happening in that slow burn, which actually makes a lot of sense because my male main character ends the first book in shambles, in absolute shambles. So there is actually a lot of space for him to grow. The way he is broken by the end of the first book is like it must influence his relationship. So it is very natural, but I have to connect that with the theme of my second book, which is going to be similar to the theme of my first book, which is imperialism, decolonization, and so on. So in the first book, I explore mainly the self-perception of the colonized people. And then in the second book, I think I'm going for the inferior complex. We will see. So basically, yeah, like I have those ideas that are separate threads that I will probably have to outline them both, all of them. So build these, let's say, rough outlines of all of them, and then connect them together in a plot that will give space for all of those things, hopefully. Hopefully. And I am thinking about making my second book it's gonna be close third person POV, but it's gonna be dual close third person POV. I think so. Then, I think the first book is with this identity exploration. It's enough that it focuses on my main character and explores the world through her lens. But then in the second book, if we are going through this inferior complex, it would be relevant for more characters. Also, the way the male main character ends the first book and the way he really does have this journey in front of him really makes sense to dwell in his head as well a little bit. So far it really does make sense. I know it's gonna be kind of a challenge with the voices, because in my first book there is a short like a short part, which is from his perspective, and it's kind of different in voice, and I know that it's going to be a challenge to maintain that. I love setting challenges for myself. There are a lot of instances in this book where I was sitting not knowing how to describe some feeling, because it is actually hard to grasp, because those are the feelings that I have experienced myself, and often it's actually easier to write something if you have experienced it, like, write what you know and stuff. I guess it does come out interesting and deep when I'm writing about something that I have gone through, but sometimes it complicates things because I'm trying to grasp that genuine feeling and explore it, like, what is that, why is that, to whom is that, and stuff. And it's so difficult sometimes. Wow. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with this second and third books. I am taking stuff which I might relate to in some capacity, and I'm going to explore that. Jeez. What am I doing? What am I even doing? I have noticed that I've been rambling for 17 minutes now. I will cut it, of course, but it's been too long. So I think we should just get to work for some time, and then after I put something on paper, then we can talk again, okay? I think it's fair. Voiceover, Ola here. I just wanted to say a couple of words about my process. I'm using Miro. It's a free tool. You can pay and get more boards, but the advantage of it is that the board is kind of infinite, so you can have one board for everything. I really like it. For my first book, I used it for actually various purposes. I have created many diagrams with it. Especially, I had two most useful diagrams. One is relationship diagram, where I just connected the characters, who should be friends with who should be in love with whom and stuff. And another is for outlining my mystery and for connecting the clues with all the red herrings and the not red herring, the actual solution. I'm not really good at mysteries. I tend to overcomplicate them. So also I'm not really good at keeping stuff and visualizing stuff in my head, because it just goes away. So this one was really helpful. So if you're looking for a way to visualize your plans or anything and you don't want to pay, I suggest, I can really recommend Miro. It's good. Hey, a quick update. It's the same day. I've just changed because I had to go out. I worked a little bit on the outline and I created this table where, like, I already complained about a lot of things happening at the same time that are hard to track. So I created this table where I created these columns, like plot, Zoriana's arc, Dmitro's arc, and romance, because it is dependent on their arcs. And I think there was something else. Oh, and themes. So I put like general ideas there, and tomorrow I will try to expand on them a little bit, because like I figured the arcs for both Zoriana and Dmitro, but like in one sentence, basically, like what's gonna happen to them, like what's in their heads. And I figured general what the plot's gonna be about, but not the like steps of it. So far, this is like two events that I want to focus on, but for now I still have to figure out the journey. And in themes, it was quite easy. I wanted to talk about the foreign influence in short. So, I'm happy with that because it's a good beginning. It's something to work upon. So, we're going in a good direction. And I got an early birthday present from my husband. I have birthday in a week or something, on 22nd. And I got this electric table, which is the height is regulated because I hate the chairs that we have, like both the chairs for the dining table and my chair, which is supposed to be, cool and soft and good for my back, but actually somehow, for some reason, my back hurts even more from that good chair. So finally, I will be able to just stand half of the day. So that's great. We will set up my new table and reorganize my workspace. So let's do that. So the summary of this day is that I have a new table and I don't have a plot. So it proved to be hard to come up with a plot, even though I have a general idea of what's supposed to happen. But yeah, I was rambling about that already, and the problem still stands. Funny is that I have no problem whatsoever coming up with romance stuff. Like, I've already come up with how is romance influenced by both of my main characters' arcs, and also like what else is happening with that romance. Okay, I had, like, apart from the general idea of what romance is, I already came up with like two little things that can also happen in this romance development. The third book, I think for now I'm having like more or less clear idea for what's gonna happen there, because the third book is gonna be about the you can look it up, Ukraine's war for independence, I guess it is called in English if I'm not mistaken. It's from 1917s, so it was a very complicated time. So basically there is no need to come up with plot very much because the plot is already there. But the second book, I'm really afraid that it will suffer from the second book syndrome, which is like also the middle of the book syndrome. It happens. I feel like it's, vaguely the same, which is like this second book syndrome is, in short, that means that like second book is boring. Okay. I think I already have kind of this saying that like the second book is not boring, but I'm struggling with the second book's plot more than I will with the third book's plot, even though the topics that I want to explore in the second book are absolutely valid and interesting to me. Like, it's not that this book is boring to me, no, but like it's harder to come up with a plot. So tomorrow I think I will dedicate to brainstorming the plot itself. Like, I don't think I will outline this book like like chapter by chapter or act by act or anything. I just want to have a loose understanding of what's gonna happen, like what is the goal of this plot. Like, that's all. I'm not even gonna plan it. I'm not sure, maybe I will plan the 3 acts and that's all. So it's really really loose planning, but I want to have that, and I will try to do it tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow. I will try to come up with that loose plot, let's say, and I'll take you with me, and I hope we can succeed. So see you tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Yes. Hi, this is going to be a summary of this vlog. Today is, I'm horrible with dates actually, it's 16th, it's Wednesday. So I have dyed my hair and I cut it a little bit. I hope it looks fine and I won't have to cringe while I edit. Anyway, I'm finishing plotting my second book for now. So the goal of this video is achieved. Round of applause, everyone. I haven't plotted it very carefully. And there is a reason to that. Usually when I plot my novel, at least I plotted my last, I think, the one that I'm working on right now, and I think the previous one that I shelved, I also plotted this way. I'm using the 12 parts journey. I'm not sure how it's called. I find it personally really helpful, even though it is, from the first side, it might look kind of fantasy oriented, but it's good for everything because, it has steps like finding a mentor and closing the first threshold and such things. But actually, mentor is not necessarily Gandalf, right? Anyone can be a mentor, like a best friend in rom-com can be a mentor. I find that it fits a lot of stories actually, and you don't have to include all 12 steps. If something just doesn't happen in your novel, then you can just remove it and it's fine, it works anyway. But I didn't use this 12 steps journey for now because it requires actually quite careful planning. And the thing is that I'm not ready to do that, but not because I don't know what's happening, which is also true. I had, yesterday in the shower, of course, where else, I had this epiphany of how to how to add mystery to the plot. And I was so happy. It's happening. It's something's going on in here. Thanks God, finally. And I showed you the table that I created. I filled it. At first it was a couple of sentences, then it grew. I expanded on characters' arcs, I expanded on plot, I expanded on themes as well. I need to let out my cat. Just go. You know how cats are, you let them through the door and they just stand in the door. Anyway, so I am really satisfied with that table. It was a very good idea, and I created a very, very loose plan for my 3 acts. And there, I want to stop for now. Because the thing is, the more I plot with this book, the more I start liking it, the more I begin, getting closer to that plot and that potential book, which sounds like something actually cool. There is this, I already talked about it, I think, in this video, that there is this, not a stereotype necessarily, I guess it's it just happens really, that middle books tend to be boring or not much happens there. And in my case, it's not going to be the case. I'm very modest, actually. I'm very modest and very unsure of myself person, insecure. Trust me on that. But like, honestly, come on, I can tell whether there is plot in the book or not. This second book would really be cool. And the thing is that I begin to like it. And I don't even know if my first book will happen. I haven't even finished my first book, not to mention, like, I haven't queried it. I have no idea whether it will get an agent, get published, get bought. I mean, by people. So I just don't know. Even if I get an agent, even if I get published, I'm not sure if I will be able to sell a trilogy or a duology, like not a standalone. I have no idea, and I don't want to let myself fall in love with something that might just not happen. So I will stop there. I have this loose idea of this second book. I have plans for 3 acts. The only thing that maybe I will let myself figure out is a couple of more arcs, because I have quite a big cast of characters. There are 12 members of my secret society. There is secret society in my book, and there are 12 people in it. And all those people played their role in the first book's themes. So the thing is that this theme of the second book is slightly different, and I have to figure out these characters' place in that new theme. So this is the only thing that I will probably do, but I'm not even sure, because like I said, I just don't want to let myself go too deep, because I don't want it to hurt later. Like, I want to have this general understanding of what's happening in the second book, so I can so in the first book I can lead to that. Maybe I can drop some, initial like thoughts on the future themes or whatever, but that's all. That's all I'm gonna do for now. I will try to leave my book alone for now and dive into reading. I actually hope that maybe I will find some more or maybe other comps to my book, because I am really unsure, for example, if the Poppy War is a good comp. I'm using it because it has these themes of imperialism and, let's say, international relations, but it is highly military, like the action, everything is like very military oriented. And my third book would be the Poppy War would be a perfect comp for my third book, but the first is not that, like, it's not military heavy at all. In my case, I have action, but it's not military. Like, there is one scene with military action. It's not enough. And there is no strategy, because like Poppy War, it's heavy on military strategy, and mine's not. So for sure, this Blood over Bright Haven is a perfect comp for me, because it has these it's the aesthetics of it is similar, and the themes are similar, but also it has this the main character has this cluelessness, this ignorance, which she works through while the plot's happening. So this is like the perfect comp. This is what happens in my case as well, in my book. And I also have Babel, because of its themes, and also because Babel is happening at the university, and part of my book, like, my characters are students. the Poppy War, but I wonder that maybe I will be able to find something even better, maybe a little less popular than Babel. Like, you gotta find, it's fine to include bestsellers as your comps, like not like, you know, not the bestsellers like things that like Twilight, everyone knows about that, but still maybe I'll find something even better. Anyway, this is all for now. Thank you very much for being here with me during this plotting adventure. Drop this paper and pencil emoji in the comments. Let that emoji stand for plotting, and tell me about your ways to plot a novel, like your favorite methods. I'm really curious about what else can I try, because I haven't tried much. Like this 12 steps journey has been fine for me so far, but maybe there is something better, because actually the thing that I'm discovering now is that the second book drafts a little bit different than the third in terms of, well, this 12-step structure, because 12-step structure has this introduction of the characters and world in the beginning, and even though you can adapt it to the second book, like you still have your status quo right in the second book as well, but maybe there is something better. I'm really curious, so if you know something, if you can share something, I will be very grateful. Thank you, and see you later. Bye.